Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on UppTalk. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say UppTalk. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you're new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
Today, we'll start with sharing rules. Sharing rules are mainly of two types. One is criteria-based sharing rule. Second is owner-based sharing rule. Criteria-based sharing rules are the one in which you can provide some criteria. Like, let me give you a scenario. If the status of patient is active, if I'm creating a patient and status of that is active, share that with, say, Sumit. I am giving some criteria that if the record matching that criteria is being created, just share that with the destination user. Here I can provide any criteria except ownership. That means I cannot fulfill a requirement. Like if the owner of patient, if the patient's owner is Sumit, share that with, say, Anita. I cannot do such kind of requirement where my criteria is based on ownership. Other than that, I can go with any criteria that name equal to this membership. ID, source, status, any field I can use as criteria except owner. These are the scenarios which I fulfill with the help of criteria. But what if my criteria is based on ownership? If my criteria is based on ownership, say my requirement is if the owner of patient say the patient record is created by all, the records that Anith create on daily basis should be shared with Anita. Say that is the requirement. My criteria is entirely based on ownership. I'm not checking any status source. If my criteria is based on ownership, I'll go with owner-based criteria, owner-based sharing rule. If it is based on other fields, I'll go with the criteria-based sharing rule. Any issues in this, Anita? All criteria other than criteria based on owner can be done using the criteria-based sharing rule. And if it's specifically owner-based, you have to go with the owner. Exactly. Let's say my requirement is if I am creating a record with status equal to active. Or the record where status equal to active should be shared with marketing user. That means although I am creating records, but if status is active, that record should be visible to marketing user with read access. This is the requirement. Say I am creating 10 reports on daily basis. All 10 should be shared with marketing user and he should be able to see all my reports where status is active. How to implement this requirement? Search for sharing settings, the same screen where we saw OGOBUDI grant access using hierarchy. Here search for our object that is patient detail. Search for patient detail or scroll down to patient detail. Here we have patient DL sharing rule. Here we have patient detail sharing rules. Click on New in that section. Click on New. Give some meaningful name. Criteria based. If you can see here, I have owner based, I have criteria based. And this third one is recently introduced that we will cover when we will be covering Communities Experience Cloud. Communities is our day 15 topic. These sharing rules will cover at that. But currently our main focus will be on owner based and criteria based. What is my criteria? My criteria is select which reports to be shared. I mean which record we need to share. We need to share all the reports where status is active. We have not created status yet. Let's quickly create a status field on this object. If you have a quick look in our project, we have around 5 fields on, and I'll share this document with you as well. We have 5 fields on field. Name, source, status, membership, ID, email. We have only created membership ID yet. Search for patient detail. Let's create a new field status on patient detail. Click on new. These all steps we have already seen. It's a creation of new field. Status will be drop down. A drop down is of type pick list in Salesforce. Search for pick list. Pick list. What is the name of field? Status. And let's say in our organization, in our hospital, there are only 2 types of status for a particular patient. Either he can be active patient or he can be inactive patient. Let's click on next. Again, click on next. Again, click on save. Now I have successfully created status field on my patient detail object. Now go to setup again. Go to that screen. Sharing settings. Sharing settings. Click on that. Now search for patient detail sharing rules. Just give some meaningful name to the sharing rule. Let this page open. Give some meaningful name. Criteria based. Select this based on criteria. My criteria is if status equals active. This is my criteria. I want the just go with the heading here. Select which records to be shared. I want to share all the reports where status is active. And to whom, with whom I need to share the record. I need to share the records with marketing user. Here we don't have any option to select user. How to do that? Any. If there is an option to select user, I can directly select that. Let's share it with marketing user. But here we don't have any option to select user. Then what to do? The answer for that is we cannot directly share a record with user. The indirect way to do that is to create a public group. Public group is collection or user. You can add multiple users in a group. And what I'll do, I'll create a public group, say marketing group, and I'll share my data with marketing group. And in that group, the only user is marketing user. Indirectly, I am sharing my data with marketing user only. If there is a requirement that I need to share data with Sumit, I'll create a group where Sumit is the only user and I'll share the data with that group. There is create a group. The step would be to create group with the group. That user only. And share data with this group. I'll be creating. Is there a specific reason why we have to create a group, or it's just how Salesforce works? In Salesforce, like there is no direct way to share record with user. Salesforce, the modes either unit, you need to go with group or role. There are two. The widely used option is group. I'll be creating a group. I'll adding marketing user in that. It will be a group with only marketing user and I'll share the record with marketing group. That means I am sharing data with that user indirectly. You can add multiple users in a group, but my requirement is I need to share only with marketing user. For now, I'll only add marketing user in that group. Let's create a group very quickly. Let's discard this screen for one. Click on Public Group. It's already there. Let me delete this and let me create a new public group. Or let me create just 1 minute. Let me click on New. I'll give it name as Marketing Group New Home. And in this group, I'll be adding, say, here we have option to add users. Let me add marketing user in our group. And click on Save. That means it's a group with only marketing user. Any data that I'll share with this group ultimately will be shared with marketing user. Now go to sharing settings. And now create our sharing rule. New criteria base status equals active. This is my criteria and with whom I need to share the record. I need to share with marketing group new, the one that I have just created. And as per my requirement, marketing user should only be able to see the record, not modify. I'll go with read only. Only click on save. Now let me quickly create a patient detail record. The other day we manually provided access to marketing user, but now let me create a record. Test criteria. It's my name of my patient membership, ID1, tree, 4 status active. As soon as I click on save, this record is also be shared with marketing user. And when I log in with marketing user, he should be able to see this record. Click on save. And now just log in with marketing user. This user should be able to see this record. Let me log in with marketing user. We have not given any manual access. We have just created record, and let's verify whether our sharing rule is working as expected or not. Screen is loaded. Click on Go. This test criteria record is visible. We have not given any manual access. We have just created a record, and that is automatically shared with marketing user. That is the beauty of sharing rule. Now, if you create 10,000 record, 20,000 record on daily basis where status is active, automatically such records will be shared with marketing user. Any issues in criteria-based sharing rule? No. Let's jump to owner-based sharing rule. It's like the initial 6-7 sessions are really straightforward. No, nothing complex. There should not be any issues, but in case of any issues, just feel free to ask any kind of question. Search for sharing settings. At this time, I'll be doing the same requirement. Say this time my requirement is all the patient records where status is active. This time I don't want status is active. I want all the records where owner is submit. Should be shared with marketing user. This time my criteria is exclusively based on ownership. Requirement is clear. Just go to and just delete this existing sharing rule. And I'll be implementing owner-based sharing rule now. Go to patient detail sharing rule, new owner-based. My requirement says all the records where owner is submit. Here it is giving me option that select which records to be shared. And here it is giving me that all the records owned by member of. I don't have option to select the user directly, that where user where owner is submit. How to do that? Any. You put that owner, you create a group and add the owner to the group. This time I need to create one more group, I'll name it as submit group. I'll add myself in that group and then I'll select that group here. There is already a group submit group that I created in the morning in the other batch. We use that, or if you want, we can create a new group. Here I am the only member. Let me show you that group just for our verification, and then directly we can use this group. There is a group where I am the only member. Group search for group, public group submit group. Here I am the only member. What I'm trying to say that patient details owned by the member of submit group and who is the member of submit group. Submit is member of submit group. Ultimately, we are saying that all the records which are owned by submit should be shared with whom? Should be shared with marketing group. Marketing group we created in the last step, in the last scenario. Ultimately, indirectly, I'm trying to say all the records owned by submit should be shared with marketing user. And what should be the access level? It should be read only. Let's click on Save. Now let me quickly create a patient detail record. Test owner base. Just remember the name of the code. Membership 34. Status I am giving as inactive. This record should be shared with marketing user because owner is submit. And I have created an owner-based sharing tool that should share this record with marketing user. A search for marketing user. Use it. What was the name of that record? Test owner base. Test owner base. This record is shared with marketing user. One question, Sumit. Let's say there are 100 records already, but there are no sharing rules. We set sharing rules, and then let's say we create 100 more records. The previous 100 records will also, the marketing user will be able to read the previous 100 also. Sharing rules like respect the previous data as well. As soon as we create sharing rule, it will apply on previous data as well. It need not be just the new records. Any issues in criteria base, owner base, anything on top of your mind? I mean, not really now. Remember these important points, like why we need to create group. There is a limitation. You cannot directly select users. Other than that, like we have two types of, one is criteria, one is owner. First requirement, like we had to share all the records where status is active that we implemented with the help of criteria based, but then we discovered one limitation that we cannot share it directly with users. We created one group that was marketing group. That's all our issue. Then in the second requirement, we had to specify that all the records where owner is submit. Again, we discovered the same issue. We were not able to submit as criteria as we cannot select user as criteria. We had to build a group where submit is the only member. Then we selected that. And then finally, we shared that with marketing user, where a marketing group where marketing user is the only member. That solved our requirement, that fulfilled our requirement. That is how we implement in live projects. Like it's solved very, I would say, critical problems. Millions of data it can share in fractions of second. On daily basis, like if say 1 lakh record, 50,000 records are being created. Automatically sharing rule will share them with required user. That is the big thing. And the sharing also only admin is allowed to do. Manual sharing, you are saying. Generally, this sharing access is given only to the admin. If you are saying about that sharing button, that manual sharing, or this sharing rule also, like this entire thing, admin will be doing. He will be creating rules. He will have access to sharing button. He will be sharing that data with required user. Say someone has approached admin that, hey, I am not able to see this record, let's share it with me. He will be providing it using manual sharing, but if say on daily basis, such requirements are coming, admin will try to automate that and In search of automation, he will think of sharing rule. If the requirement is very, I would say, small, only 2, 3 records, 5, 10 records are coming on daily basis, he will be going with manual sharing. If, say, thousands of records are coming on daily basis, then admin will definitely go with sharing rule. Sharing rules. That is how we implement sharing rule. Just go through this recording. Like I mentioned, this like initial 7, 8 sessions are very light, no haptics, that you have ample time to go through them and try to implement. Just go through all the previous recordings and today's session. And in case of any issues, just let me know. Tomorrow we'll start with next topic from tomorrow. One more thing. You said you'll touch base on that, the introduction to Salesforce. Should we do that today, or we can do that? Good point. We can utilize this time. This is the PPT for our introduction. Mainly just to give the participants the idea about Salesforce, what Salesforce is, why Salesforce is leading CRM, and what is the beauty of Salesforce. Like we have more than, I would say, hundreds of CRM in market, but why Salesforce is leading CRM? The answer to that is, like, here we have something in our kitty, in our bucket for everyone. Like, say, let's target our product life cycle. From the very beginning, say I need to sell my product to someone, how efficiently I can sell my product, how I can acquire leads, how I can reach to mass audience after selling, how I can provide them good service, after sales service. In Salesforce, we have inbuilt application that fulfills like all our needs. They have minutely think of each and every requirement, and something is there by default for all important, I would say, junctions in product life cycle. From the very beginning, acquiring the leads, reaching out mass audience, selling the product. After sales service, providing some platform to partners, customers, we have a lot of things for our entire product life cycle. That is the beauty of Salesforce. Now the aspect of Salesforce that deals with sales side, like sales side means how efficiently I can sell my product. That require the features in Salesforce, which are already there, that helps in that aspect. Those are bundled under Sales Cloud. Then we have something called Service Cloud. The features that helps, like how efficiently I can provide my customers after sales services, or the features which are helping in that aspect, are bundled as Service Cloud. We have case, we have entitlement, we have communities, we have, like, in each and every bucket, we have a lot of features which are readily available. You just need to sign up in the Salesforce and you can start using those features. After sales and service, we have something called Marketing Cloud. In Salesforce, very special feature, say I need to create a website or web page for my customers, for my partners, where I can list down my products, where I can tell them about my organization, the role, hierarchy, the structure, the contact details. No need to hire an HTML developer. With the help of some button clicks, I can design a web page. Earlier that was Community Cloud, now it's Experience Cloud. The name is changed, rest everything is same. With the help of button clicks, I can design a web page, a website, and there I can host the details about my organization. That is something called Community Cloud. That was something called Community Cloud. Then we have Marketing Cloud. Marketing Cloud. like how efficiently I can acquire leads, I can acquire the probable customers, how efficiently I can reach them. That aspect, the features which are helping in that aspects are nothing but Marketing Cloud. After Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud, Community Cloud. These are the different cloud, or I would say they have made a different section, like say 5 features they have bundled as Community Cloud, 5 features they have bundled as Service Cloud. Depending upon the end usage, they have split the features into different buckets. And accordingly, they sell their licenses, they sell their products. Accordingly, they have pricing feature. Let me ask you a very basic thing or very important, like whether Salesforce is SS or PAD. Any idea on top of that, around that? Now I just used it as S. I didn't download anything. I just logged in and started using it. SAS means any software that is readily available. We are not doing any installation, any setup, any download. We are just signing it up the way we sign up our Gmail account, and we have started using that. We have not written any piece of code. The software is already there. We just need a login or a membership. The software is already there. We are using it as a service. That means as. But what about? These features are not fulfilling my requirement and I need to write my own piece of code. Would Salesforce support that? Salesforce would support that. I can write my own piece of code. I can host it in the Salesforce platform. Everything we will cover in dev sessions. There, the development part of Salesforce is nothing but PAD. Like Salesforce is providing its platform where you can host your code, and on top of standard features, you can customize them as per your need. That's where Salesforce developers come in. Exactly in layman term, you can say like SS is admin, PAD is developer. If someone asks you whether Salesforce is SS or PAD, answer for that is Salesforce is both its SS as well as PAD. Then you already have Salesforce account with you. No need to create an account. Then let's jump to Salesforce Edition. The one edition, the environment that you have created, it's of which edition? Developer. Developer Edition. It's pre-forced. But do you feel the same edition we use in live projects? Do you feel that? No, maybe it needs to be enterprise. It will be one of these three. It can be professional, it can be enterprise, it can be unlimited. What's the difference in these 3 editions? The main difference is the features which are available will be different. In one edition, some feature might not be there, and in second edition, that feature will be there. And second is limit. Like limits will be different in different editions. Like in unlimited, say you can create 50 objects. In enterprise, let's for example, you might be able to create 30 objects only. Limits will be different in different editions. One is features, second is limits. When we start implementation for our client, we get in touch with Salesforce. We tell them our requirement. They tell us the suitable bundle, suitable edition that, as per your requirement, this is the best fit. And accordingly, we purchase that edition from Salesforce. But developer we never use in live projects. It's a free of cost with very small limits. You can only create, say, 2 or 3 users. you can only create 5 objects or 10 objects. Limits are on varies less. It's not very on higher side. There are only few things we can do in that. In live projects mostly we go with unlimited because clients do not want to stuck in the number game of limits or features. They want to use all the features. They want it to the fullest, like in the maximum possible way. They want to use in the maximum possible way. Mostly what I have seen in the live projects, we go with unlimited. In some of the projects where requirements are less, we might go with professional or enterprise, but mostly we go with unlimited. You can verify that in the company information. In your environment, search for company information, verify the addition. How to verify the addition, like which environment, which addition we are using, how to verify that. Here we have developer addition. In the live environment, when you will open company information, you might see here the enterprise or professional or unlimited. That is how we verify addition. Now coming on to our next part, that was the brief introduction about Salesforce. What are the different clouds? What is different addition? Then how to create a new account that you already have. All these things we cover in introduction. Now jumping on to MVC architecture, if I ask you what is the architecture of Salesforce? Answer for that is MVCM stands for model, V stands for view, C stands for controller. Now what is model? In SQL or in any of the programming language, we have something called database tables. Like in our case, we have patient, we have appointment. These are like database tables. In Salesforce, we call them as object. Object is nothing but database table, and that is nothing but model. M stands for model or object or database table. V stands for view. View is nothing but pictorial representation of data. V stands for view. What is view? Let me open any record of my patient. Detail object. Patient detail is model. Now I am opening any record of patient detail. Let me open this. This is view like pictorial representation of my data. And in Salesforce we call it as page layout. It is showing me the details of data. Is page can be standard or page can be. With the help of custom coding, we can develop custom pages or page can be standard. M stands for model, V stands for view, C stands for controller. Model means object. View means page. It can be standard or it can be custom page. And C stands for controller. What is controller? Controllers are the building blocks of the actual application logic. Say like just now we have been sharing rules. What is sharing rule? Like sharing rule, as soon as I'm creating a record, it is sharing that record with someone else. Behind the scene, it is controlling. Oh, the logic that's happening behind. Controllers also can be of two types. Either it can be button click based admin controller or it can be with the help of X. FX controllers or normal controller. M stands for model. Model is nothing but object. V stands for view. View is we can have standard page or custom page. Then we have controller, that is application logic working on the data. Like going forward, we would be creating workflow, process, builder flow. All those are nothing but controllers, that is controlling our data. That is something called controller. Now what is the key blocks of Salesforce? We have object, field, application, and record. Object is nothing but database table. Objects can be of two types. Some objects are already there. Those are standard object, and some objects which I am creating, those are custom object. Then we have field. Again, some fields will already be there. They will be standard fields, and some fields I'll be creating based on my requirement. Those will be custom fields. Then we have app. API is like collection of tabs we created for our requirement one application. There we added tabs as per our requirement. And finally we have record. Record is nothing but data or any particular data in our database table. That is nothing but record. Say I have 3 records. Say I have 3. Say let me open. In this table I have only one data. That means I have only one record. This is nothing but record. And finally, we have our ultimate goal. Just to understand what is our ultimate goal. Throughout this journey, we will be understanding the entire admin concepts and will get a good amount of idea like how an architect leverage different admin concepts from very starting. Like requirement comes and they design the solutioning, then they implement the solution. The ultimate aim. The ultimate aim is to understand how architects leverage different aspects of Salesforce to design an application. And our ultimate aim is to create a case management system for a pharma company or hospital chain. With the help of admin concepts, we'll be understanding that we'll be getting a fair amount of idea like how in real life projects, how things work. We'll be getting an idea around that. That's our ultimate goal. That was all about like introduction and MVC. I mean somehow like I was under impression that that was covered, but I mean no issues. It's really like a small introduction that we normally give to participants on the day one. They have a fair amount of idea like what we are trying to do. How will we do that? What is how to create an account? What is that best additions? That's the idea behind that introduction. Any issues, anything on top of your mind around introduction and VC, just feel free to let us know. Sumit, I'll also read again about this introduction part. Sure. And I'll let you know if I have any questions. Sure. We are done till day 5 content. We have like day 17 day of content, but normally we cover it in like 24 or like 21 to 24, like 25 days. That all depends upon our speed. And initially we cover all the topics in like single day only. But going forward, things like validation rule, not possible to cover that in a single day. We keep it in like 2 days. I mean, that extends the things and ultimately in total, that should take at least around 25 days. We are done till day 5 content. Just go through all the recordings and in case of some issues, just let me. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@therightuptalk.com.